All right, welcome back. If you notice my voice sounds a little bit different or I'm talking a little bit weird, I've got this ridiculous cold right now that I'm trying to fight off. So we're going to be talking about the PNPT and one of the better sections that I've taken so far. I said that the last section was the best that I've had, or some of the best coursework on cybersecurity that I've had. That was the information gathering and reconnaissance section. This section is about as good, quite frankly. The scanning and enumeration section is, well, I mean, the title is fairly self-explanatory. Let me switch over and show you what it's all about. Installing Keyoptrix. Keyoptrix is basically, it's very similar to Damn Vulnerable Web Application, but it's just for like things in general. It's a little bit old, a little bit dated, but it, based on the walkthroughs that Heath did in this section, it's still fairly relevant. Scanning with NMAP, you spend a fair bit of time in NMAP. One of my favorite parts about this section of the course is that he spent a lot of time explaining how NMAP works and what the various flags actually do. It's very, very easy to take NMAP and memorize the flags and throw basically everything at a server and hope that it works. Heath goes through it all and explains how it all works, what all of the differences are, why, for example, UDP scanning takes forever versus TCP scanning, how TCP scanning works, all of those different things. So really just a great job on that. Explains how to grab banners from SSH, which is obviously valuable, actually showed how to connect to SMB and showed some, basics about, sort of how SMB works. Not like just super in depth. This was not like a section on SMB, and there very easily could be a section just totally devoted to SMB, but kind of showed how to connect to it, how the various vulnerabilities work. And one of the better sections of one of the better lectures of this section was the researching potential vulnerability section, which as you can see is 15 minutes. It felt longer than 15 minutes because of like the depth that Heath went through to kind of explain how to find these vulnerabilities, all of the different methods of researching vulnerabilities once you found and enumerated a service. He just really did a great job in kind of breaking that stuff down. Went more in depth than just here's your Nmap output, throw that into metasploit, and throw a Hail Mary basically and try to exploit everything. So really did a great job. I'm going to go back and actually walk through the labs. Now that I've watched all of the lectures, I'm basically going to go through, let me switch over to face since I'm not really going through this stuff. I'm going to actually go through the labs now and do the enumeration myself. I like to do the lectures first instead of pausing and starting and pausing and starting and kind of following along with the lectures. I like to watch the lectures, take notes, note down specifically parts that I wasn't familiar with before, and then I'll walk through the practical part on my own, basically so that I am not just like verbatim following along the lectures. I'm actually like kind of understanding these things and really like grasping it. So I think that that's a more valuable way to do things. I think that's the way that Heath probably would want you to do all of this stuff. I mean, you could follow along with the lectures exactly back, like, side by side. I don't think that's a great way to do it. I don't think you learn as much versus like really paying attention to the lectures, taking notes, and then walking through the practical part on your own. I think that's a lot more valuable. So this is a short video. There's really not all that much else to talk about. I mean, like I said in the last video, he just does, a phenomenal job with this course, and the scanning and enumeration part really gives you a great idea on how to break down the enumeration process, how to start making notes of findings, how to start making notes of potential findings, how to make notes of potential vulnerabilities, things like that. So he did a great job. That's really all I got to say about it. I will see you next week for another update. I'm probably going to go through 2 or 3 sections. There's one more section on vuln scanning with Nessus. I'll probably pack that in with the exploitation basics section. And then we'll have the capstone and exploit dev, Active Directory, more Active Directory, more Active Directory, even more. There's a lot of Active Directory left. So there's a lot left to this course, and I'll kind of decide how I'm going to break things down based on the section. But the next section will probably be on Nessus as well as like the basics of exploitation. That's what I'm thinking right now. Um, thank you everybody for your support of the series so far. The PNPT study sesh has been just amazing. I've learned a ton from it already. I hope you're learning from it as well. Take it easy. Peace.